Hi, hello. How's everybody doing? I'm here getting my cup, ready to do a coffee chat. So that's what we're going to be doing with Mallrat. How's everybody? Hi. Now, if you're here for the coffee chat with Mallrat, could you help me out and drop some comments below about what you want me to ask her? I mean, mostly just going to be cool, chill, hang out. We'll get to talk to Mallrat, who we know and love here at Go 96.3 because, well, she's Go Show veteran. Can someone give me those hearts if they were at our Go Show with Mallrat in August at the entry? Remember when we used to be able to go to concerts? That was fun. That was a good time. I decided, it was poor planning by me, I decided I really needed to wake up because I've been super tired. I've been helping to do the morning show and yeah, been up for a long time. Here she is. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. There she is from Australia. What time is it there?
It's 7 a.m.
7 a.m.? What part of Australia are you in?
I'm in Melbourne right now.
Gotcha. Well, how are things? Good morning.
I'm good. How are you? What time is it there?
It's like 4 in the afternoon, and I know I look like it's morning time because I just took a shower before this to wake up. I was like, I need to wake up. And I got a little coffee going for our coffee chats.
Cheers.
Cheers. So, are you truly a coffee or tea person?
I'm both, for sure. Like, this is a tea right now. I've had a coffee already.
Yeah.
I usually have one or two coffees and then tea the rest of the day.
That makes a lot of sense. So, would you consider yourself a caffeine addict? Because I know I am. Yeah.
I wouldn't even consider, it's not that I would consider myself objectively caffeine.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well, now that we're all here on quarantine, doesn't it feel like, I don't know if you get this vibe in Australia, but it feels like in America, people are actually more connected now, talking to friends and loved ones more than ever before. Do you find that there?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've definitely been talking to my friends and family and like having more time to make an effort, which is really cool. My friends, some of them live in Brisbane, and so we've been like having FaceTime dance parties, which has been really fun.
Wait, okay, back it up. So I know you're a big fan of Flume and other EDM artists, like those kind of dance parties?
It can be anything. Like yesterday we listened to Black Eyed Peas. And what else did we boogie to? I don't know, just whatever that we feel like.
How do you do that? Do you do that on the FaceTime or do you do it on Zoom or what are you using?
We're using FaceTime. I have big loud speakers here, so I just put my phone like here and then there's the speakers there. Yeah. And then DJ and...
You DJ?
Yeah, but not with decks, like just with Spotify.
Got you. So Denim doesn't come over and DJ with you. It's just you and your friends all remotely. So for me, who maybe doesn't really understand, how far apart are you from most of your friends? How long time-wise?
Brisbane and Melbourne, like, you wouldn't really drive. You would fly, and it's like a 2-hour flight, probably.
So how did that happen that you have so many friends that live in a different city than you?
So I'm from Brisbane originally.
Gotcha.
But I live between Melbourne and Los Angeles, so yeah.
And do you prefer one or the other?
Not anymore. I like them equally. Melbourne feels like home, but LA has really started to feel like home lately as well.
What has changed for you in LA that's starting to make it feel more home-like for you?
I bought my first piece of furniture.
What was that?
That helps, and like started making friends and just getting to know the place better.
Yeah. So you're in Australia now, so you just like left the house or the condo or apartment or whatever in LA, it's just empty, nobody's there?
Well, I have housemates, so they're there.
Gotcha. Is Charlie with you now?
Charlie's in Brisbane with my dad.
I was really hoping Charlie would join this coffee chat because fur babies are the best. And you have horses too, right?
I don't have horses. I wish. I love horses, and when I stop touring one day, I'm gonna have horses.
So you ride English, Western?
I don't even ride much. Like I used to when I was little. Yeah, no particular style.
Just for fun, jump on bareback and go for it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So aside from the dance parties, I mean, what have you been doing to keep busy during quarantine?
I have been, what have I been doing? Practicing Japanese and reading, and going for little walks. And that's it.
You know, it's really funny. So I think I saw on your Instagram that the Sims contacted you to write a song for them or redo a song. And when I first listened to it, I go, is this another one of her songs in Japanese? And then I realized that it wasn't. What was the language that you put it in? Sim something?
Simlish.
I didn't even know that was a language. Did they script that for you? How does that work?
Yeah, it's like an actual thing. So they translated all of the lyrics. Every line is like the same syllable, the same amount of syllables as the original. So like it was actually it wasn't that hard to sing. And yeah, I've literally always wanted to do it since I saw there's like a video of Katy Perry like recording a Simlish song, and I was like, oh my god, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So it's been on the bucket list forever. So that was the highlight of last year for me.
I love it. And then you came into 2020, and what were you thinking when this year started compared to, we all know where it is now, but what were you thinking when you first came into this year?
I don't know. I was thinking, oh, I gotta write an album and play these shows that I have planned, and that was kind of it. That was all I was thinking about, really.
Well, you strictly stuck to putting out EPs, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you actually plan now to do a full, how many song album? 10, 11 songs?
I like the number 11.
The number 11?
Yeah.
Do you get into the 11-11 thing and make a wish, or am I the only one? You do that too?
Next to each other every time it's 11-11 and make a wish.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you ever followed Paris Hilton on Snapchat.
Mm-mm.
Okay. She loves 11-11, and every single 11-11 without fail, she'll just be like 11-11, make a wish.
I think it's a great reminder to pause for even half a second to remember, okay, stop whatever you're doing, just break and think about something you're grateful for, or you want to manifest this great in your life. I mean, you manifested success. You said, hey, when I get these braces off, I'm going to be a rock star, right? And it pretty much worked out almost exactly like that, didn't it?
Yeah, I love 11-11.
Yeah. Now, have you been recording it all while you're back there in quarantine, or is that not possible?
I can, like, I've set up a little home studio, but mostly I only set it up a couple days ago. So I've just been making beats, mostly. Actually, that's not even true. I've been recording a little bit. Yeah, I have a little bit. But
so what do you use to record beats? I mean, for anyone trying to learn to do what you do, what would you recommend?
I use Ableton. I started with GarageBand.
Of course.
Which is a perfect way to start. So anybody who has like a Mac computer will already have that on there. Mm-hmm. So that's a really good place to start. And then once you get the hang of it, then you can like think of upgrading to Logic, which is basically like GarageBand's big brother, or Ableton, or you could get Fruity Loops, which lots of rap producers use. There's like so many different softwares, and it's just practice. Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you start doing that?
Before I started singing. So
really?
Yeah. So I was making beats first when I was probably like 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would send my demos with me singing on them to producers. So they were like, oh, sing on my beat. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I would do that for like the first EP was all that, and then I was like, oh wait, I forgot, like I love producing. And then I started doing that again. And yeah, I only started using Ableton like 2 years ago, maybe.
Do you produce all of your own music?
No, I have co-produced pretty much all of it though. I work with like my friends are really good producers, so I learn like everything from them.
And who's that?
Pardon?
Your friend who's a producer, who is that?
Oh, all my friends. So like Golden Vessel and my friend Fossa, Japanese Wallpaper. Like I just love spending time with them and making stuff with them. Yeah, but I produced Drive Me Round on the last EP.
Mm-hmm.
Me. And I want to like have a big chunk of the album just be my production.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, and start like producing for other artists as well.
Yeah. Do you ever songwrite for other artists, or do you just want to produce?
I really want to. And I've done a little bit, but nothing that's come out yet. But that's kind of the main motivation for me living in America, in LA, is like, that's where the songwriting scene is kind of. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, because I'm sure you've heard this before, but in a world where authenticity, I think, really matters, especially more than ever today in 2020, I find your lyrics to be some of the most authentic lyrics out there in the music universe. And you have this way, and I coined the term simple genius. Like, you say things so simply, but the way you say it, you really nail the emotion in such a way that everybody can understand. How did you learn that ability?
Thank you, Christy. That's really nice.
You're welcome.
I think it's intuitive for me. Like, I guess I learned it because I listened to the songs that I really care about and the artists that I really care about and thought, what do they all have in common? What do I like about this song? And yeah, for me, it's like when something is insincere, not necessarily like whether it actually happened or not, but whether it's sincere and like, yeah, when something's sincere or insincere, I can just tell straight away. And I would feel really uncomfortable being insincere,
Mm-hmm.
and I was lying.
Mm-hmm.
And all the songs that I love are really vulnerable.
Okay.
And I guess I figured out like that's how you stick with people.
Are there certain singer-songwriters, because you were saying that the songs you look up to and stuff, are there certain singer-songwriters that you feel really embody that vulnerability well?
Johnny Cash.
Mm.
And Lana Del Rey.
Mm-hmm.
And who else do I love? Adrian Lenker from Big Thief.
Okay.
And they're some of my favorites at the moment.
Yeah. Gotcha. Are there any Australian artists that you think all of us in the USA should really know about? Because once upon a time I went to Australia and I walked into some record shop in Melbourne in like the arts district, I forget what it's called, and I was like, tell me about some artists I don't know, and they gave me she's not exactly Australian, I don't think, but they gave me the Kimbra music album, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then I came back and nobody knew about her yet, and then she ended up on the Gautier record, right, and all of that stuff. So what's one of those bubbling under artists you really think is going to break through to a point other people around the world know who they are out of Australia?
Sport.
Who?
Cub Sport.
Why Cub Sport?
Because Tim is, actually, I should have said him when you asked about my favorite songwriters. He's my favorite songwriter.
Okay.
And they're from Brisbane, and like, first of all, their music is amazing, but also the story of the band is just so special and incredible. And yeah, I just listen to them all the time, and I'm obsessed with them and write with Tim a little bit. So I have a song on their next album, which is really good.
A collaboration is coming.
It is, but even if that weren't the case, like I would 100% say Cub Sport. Like they're my favorite band in the whole world. They're so good.
Makes them so special to you?
Just the songs are perfect. Yeah, that's the main thing. Like they're just the most beautiful, beautiful songs.
When you're writing with people, how do you decide that you're going to work with them, produce with them, songwrite with them? Is it a vibe? Is it a recommendation? Is it just because you love their music?
It'll either be because we're friends and I love their music, or because my manager or someone at my label's like, you should work with this person. But I feel like I've done a lot of like sessions with strangers the last like 2-3 years, and I'm like ready, like I know who I like now, so I'm kind of like getting a bit comfortable and like just want to work with my friends now or on my own.
So
but
you're saying though you have some things coming out. Can you reveal any other projects or collaborations you have coming that we can expect while we're all in quarantine?
I don't want to say in case like something happens and the songs don't come out, but I've been working with some really great artists. Actually, you know, there's one that will almost definitely come out with, do you know the Knox?
Yes.
Yeah,
we did a Go show with them too. Like, so they're part of the Go fam.
Okay, amazing. So I love them, and we have a really cool song together.
Oh, awesome. Can you tell us what it's called?
I don't know.
They're also a really fun party, though. You should get one of those like FaceTime dance parties going with them.
Yeah, I love them. So I can't wait to show you this song. But yeah, also album, The Knox, and Cub Sport, and yeah, that's the main things right now.
Yeah. Now, we all know that Australia's been through its fair share of craziness with the bushfires. Did you learn anything from going through a crisis like that that made you better prepared for the quarantine that's happening right now?
I can't really say that I mean, obviously, like, we saw some pretty amazing community come out of that situation, and also this situation, you know, people really banding together and looking out for each other. But I wasn't too directly affected by it, so I would feel weird being like, yeah, you know, like, suffered so much, because I was in the city or on tour, and it didn't really impact me. But we had a show in, where was it? Wagga Wagga, I think.
Okay.
And so we had to drive through the fires. Like, what should have been like a 2-hour drive took like 8 hours because all these closed, and like the road, like the bush next to the road was burnt and like or on fire and smoking. And it was really crazy to actually see because we'd just been hearing about it in the news.
Yeah.
But that's kind of as close as I got to it, thankfully. But it's pretty heartbreaking for a lot of people.
Did you find that the music industry came out to help and raise funds or do things for the firefighters in Australia?
Yeah, people did so much. So many benefit concerts, and yeah. People were really generous.
Yeah, I know that I think that's April 18th. They're saying they're doing this thing, One World. It sounds a little bit like Live Aid, right? They're getting this virtual concert together of all these musicians. And I'm kind of curious, do you know why it always seems like artists, musicians, right? People who do music in time of a crisis come through more for humanity than any other type of artist? And that's not a knock on other artists, but why do you think musicians rise to the occasion so much more during a crisis?
I mean, I think there's so many reasons. Then the really nice answer is that probably artists are very aware of what's happening in the world and very compassionate and sympathetic. The second thing is they're like more visible than painters or, you know, directors. Like, they have their following already, so I guess they're pretty aware of that and how you can use your influence.
Sure.
And there's also like, yeah, there's probably a million different reasons. Yeah, I have to say I'm a little bit skeptical of like live stream concerts. Like I certainly won't be doing any,
Yeah.
but it's just not the same as a
Right.
concert.
Well, you don't get that same energy, right? Do you find that you feed off of that when you're performing in one of your cute frilly shirts like you wore at our Go show in Minneapolis?
Yeah, well, I play shows because it's how I make money.
Yeah.
And the reason that I like playing shows is because I get to see people singing back the lyrics. And so a live stream concert, like, I don't get either of those things out of it. Like, so for purely selfish reasons,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. But then also it's like nobody's watching the live stream concert feeling as excited
Yeah.
as if they were.
It's not the same vibe, sure. And you brought up a really good point. So at this time, we know so many musicians like yourself make your money, feed yourself, basically from touring. I mean, how do you see the industry getting through a moment like this? How are you personally getting through it?
I'm gonna be okay, but I really do feel for like so many people that have lost work.
Mm-hmm.
But then also important to remember, you know, literally everybody in the whole world is in the same boat right now, like
right.
doing. So, you know, you can't be too like mope for a little bit. I think it's always important to like sit with how you feel and like be upset, but then pull your socks up and be like, okay, everybody's in this together. You know, it's not just a musician problem. Like,
sure,
everybody is losing work, but it is especially hard in Australia. The government. I mean, I haven't actually been up like keeping track of the updates, but it seems like the arts funding for and like the packages for artists and freelancers in general is like slow to keep up with the compensation for everything else. So I mean, hopefully they'll amend that, but yeah, it's just like, hey, we are working too. Like, this isn't just a hobby, you know?
right. Do you think, I have to ask this question, I'm sure you've been asked it before, but do you think being on quarantine will inspire you to write songs about these emotions and maybe, I don't know if you have anxiety, but the anxieties or sadnesses or weirdness of these moments?
I think it will give me time to write music, but I don't think I'm going to be writing about being on my own, like isolation. Like, this is kind of how I usually am. So when I'm not doing shows, so this is, yeah, I don't really feel those anxieties so much that a lot of people are experiencing, but definitely I'll be making more music.
Yeah.
Just with time.
So basically what you said, was it in the song Uninvited, right? Like you just want to be hanging out at home sometimes and not at the party, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I got you. Well, I appreciate you spending some time with us today for a coffee chat. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's so nice to talk to you. I hope that I can come back to Minneapolis soon.
I hope so too. And if you want to do coffee chats, I mean, ordinarily, I feel like without the quarantine, I wouldn't be chatting here with you having coffee. And here we are. So while this is a crazy time and hard for a lot of people, I mean, I think it's fun to create some moments for people who are fans of your music, just like I am. You know, big supporter. I love the song UFOs, right? Because aliens exist, of course.
Definitely.
And we appreciate you and good luck with everything. And hopefully you make it back out here soon.
Thank you so much, Christy. Stay safe.
Bye. Yeah, you too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.